Hello AOS fans, Robin here, and I'm back again, and today I've got a whole new game I want to talk about. And it's something that isn't even out yet, and it's something that Pete and I have been following for some time. There's a bit of a rocky road to fruition, really. And it's the Harry Potter miniatures game, or I think the Harry Potter Adventure miniatures game, to give it its full title. And it's been promised for quite some time. This is coming from Night Models. They used to do the Marvel Cinematic Universe game, and which I think has now been quashed or squashed by Disney. And they did the Batman miniatures. They do the Batman miniatures game, and they do some really nice minis for that. And that's not to be confused with the one that's currently on Kickstarter by Monolith. That's a completely different game, and I'm guessing Night Models a little bit worried about that one. But they have their own ace up their sleeve, and that's this Harry Potter's miniature game. Or at least it was meant to be an ace up the sleeve, but it's all started to go a little bit sour. And I just wanted to talk about that and why people perhaps shouldn't judge it too soon, certainly before it actually arrives. Now, there's lots of the initial announcement was a long time ago for this game, and it's taken a long time to get here with not much communication from Night Models. In my experience with Night Models, they're not the best communicators, not the best in this day and age, but they have talked about it being difficult with legal wranglings about the sort of IP rights and that kind of thing. So I don't know whether that's true, false, exaggerated, or what, but that's always been the story. And then suddenly they announced about 2 weeks ago that their game was going to be on Kickstarter. And everybody was like, oh no, not Kickstarter. And well, you know, Kickstarter has its place, and it's particularly good for miniatures games. Anybody who is following the Batman Monolith game at the moment will see it's made huge amounts of money, and huge amounts of figures are coming out for that. We'll get onto that in a minute. And obviously companies like Simon are doing incredibly well with games like Rising Sun. And I suppose it's, you know, I can see the attractiveness of that model. Anyway, there was almost no more information until last week, end of last week, when suddenly they announced that they weren't doing a Kickstarter. It was all going to be available through pre-orders through their website. Now, this has caused consternation amongst the followers. I've belonged to the Facebook group for the game, and it caused a great deal of consternation. People getting very cross about it, saying that they've been let down and how dare they, and why don't they think of the players? Well, at the end of the day, Night Models are a business, and they want to make money, which is kind of why businesses exist. And if they didn't make money, then they wouldn't exist, and they wouldn't make the games in the first place. And so you have to kind of understand that they probably are trying to do what is best for them. And that's okay, because we need them to make money in order to make us games that we can play. Now, it is a bit frustrating because, you know, this flip-flopping, you don't know where you are, it doesn't feel very reliable. But let's have a look at it, try and be a bit dispassionate about it, and let's look at this Kickstarter versus non-Kickstarter. Say everybody was quite upset when they discovered it was a Kickstarter, and it seems that everybody's even more upset now they discovered that it isn't going to be a Kickstarter. So where are we at? Now, I can see the Kickstarter model is great if you're a smallish company. You can tell in advance what you need and produce what you need to fulfill your orders. And I can see why that's a good thing. And Night Models, I don't really know how big a company they are, but they're not huge. They're certainly not Games Workshop size. And I could see like Harry Potter's miniatures game, they could seriously struggle to fulfill their orders that they're likely to want. Now, people said, oh, but you know, in a Kickstarter you get so much stuff. Well, you do, but that isn't always a good thing, because sometimes the products fail on being too successful because they get too many orders and too many miniatures, and either they just can't fulfill it anyway because they just can't get they can't get the scale to get everything out in time, so people's orders are late, and that really gets people teed off because they pay money and it's delay after delay after delay. Or they don't scope it right, and they actually lose money because they have so many stretch goals that they can't make all the miniatures for the cost of what it is. So if you look at the current Batman Monolith game, I think that's about $140 for the basic set, and that includes all of the stretch goals. And if you've been following it, there's loads and loads and loads and loads of stretch goals, and which is great. I'm going to get loads of miniatures when that comes through. I have backed it. I'm going to get loads of miniatures. I'm actually going to get too many miniatures. Now, Harry Potter, there are kind of two problems with that. The first is that there's a finite number of characters. In something like something as long running as Batman from the 1930s or however long it is, you've got villains after villains after villains to bring in. Harry Potter, 7 books, reasonably short amount of villains, and the Night Models, for whatever reason, have decided they're going to use sort of slightly older Harry and Hermione. So again, you've cut down your number of villains you can have because it's only in the later books. And actually, you can see that very, very quickly, if this is a massive demand game, which I imagine it will be, they could run out of stretch goals. And so that isn't a good thing. They haven't got an infinite number of things to add, so they might run out of stretch goals. With the stretch goals, you've got to allow for the cost of making the extra miniatures that you're going to have stretched to, which means putting the base price up. And so the Monolith game is $140. Now, the Harry Potter one is pre-ordering at $80, which is not quite, but almost half the price. Obviously, you get nowhere near as many miniatures. But Night Models have got to be looking at their who they're aiming this game for. There's going to be a lot of Harry Potter fans out there who haven't played miniatures games before, who aren't big game players. They don't know the cash commitment that it takes to keep playing, and they're going to look at paying upwards. I don't know if they do €140, say, because I think it's €80 actually. Do €140. They're looking at upwards of $160 just to buy into it. And they're going to be thinking, well, I don't know about that. I do like the miniatures, but I don't know how much am I going to like the game. Who knows? And so I can see why they have gone this route. They've priced it down. You get your basic set, and you get a few miniatures, and then they've got a few add-ons that you can add in. Now, I don't like the model completely. I mean, some of the miniatures of this game are amazing. I'll get Pete to flash up a couple of pictures now. And some of these are pre-order exclusive. So the big Voldemort that just went up there, that is a pre-order exclusive. So you only get, in theory, you're only going to get that if you pre-order it. There are other people moaning, well, you might not actually be exclusive. Well, it might not, but that's all to the good, because actually I don't really like this pre-order model where there are some exclusives. So there's some exclusives that you only get if you shell out for the top level of pre-order, which is about €300, which is way, way, way above my budget. There's no way I can afford that. And then people are going to get miniatures that I can't afford. And I don't really like that. I'm an egalitarian. I know how capitalism works, but I don't really like the fact that if you've got more money, you can get more of what you want. Okay, yes, that's how the world works, but it's a bit of a shame. I'd like to be able to pick and choose what I want and add it up. And I wouldn't even mind paying a little bit more to get exactly what I wanted, rather than having these exclusive things that I only get if I shell out loads more than I can afford, and I don't want that. But so what if they come back later? Okay, yes, they didn't. I don't know whether they're going to be exclusive or not. But if they come out later and somebody can buy them later on the line, then that's great. That's really good. And if it means that the whole project is funded because they've sold a few extra miniatures on this back of this exclusivity, then that's great too. So, as to the game itself, well, I have to say we don't know very much about it yet. It looks like Pete and I might be able to really run with this game. It's a small tabletop game, not too dissimilar to Shadespire. We've learned how to record these videos, so we're definitely going in at a low level to play it, to bring it to you, so you can see what the game is like. And we hope to bring our expertise that we developed in Shadespire to the game. Now I have to say, so far Night Models have produced one fairly uninspiring video of the gameplay. It doesn't excite me that much at the moment, but I think they probably used the wrong two guys to record that video. That, you know, we know where they should have gone. But the game, it's not dissimilar to Shadespire. You have a small warband of troops that you can put together with, well, in fact, it's closer to their Batman game. You get points to spend, and you can bring in different troops to pay for them and different equipments to pay for that with the points that you've got, and then you fight off against each other. And I think there are objectives, and there are spell cards, and it's all kind of, you know, powers and things. It's all very, very sort of skirmishy type game. If you haven't played that type of game before, Pete and I will hopefully do some tutorial videos when the game comes out to explain how to play it and how these mechanics tend to work. Pete and I really want to get on top of this and hopefully bring you lots of great, good quality videos to help you take your steps into this new world if you're new, and obviously to help you look at it if you're not new and you want to decide, well, do I want this game or not? Who knows? So that's where we're at. The pre-orders open on the 14th of March, so Pete and I are going in at a lowish level. I'm definitely going to try and go for the Voldemort because I love that model, and then hopefully it does not actually deliver anything until September, but between now and then, Pete and I will be looking at how we can bring the game to you, and hopefully as soon as we get our kit, we can hit the ground running and bring you some interesting videos and paint up our minis as quickly as we can, and bring you some interesting stuff to add to our Shadespire content. So I would say don't despair. I know it's been a bit of a mess and the communication has been bad, but give Night Models a chance. I don't think they've done anything that's quite attracted this level of following before. They don't want to go bust. They could go bust. They don't want to screw this up. It feels like they might be in danger of screwing up, but I don't think they will. The miniatures look exquisite. Hopefully the game rules are a little bit more inspiring than they appear to be. And you know, give it a chance. I imagine it's going to run. I mean, lots of people are going to back it anyway, so you don't have to come in right at the pre-order level if you don't want to. I think it's probably worth it for the miniatures alone, and you know, and I think it'll be a fun game. It might not be a fantastic game. I think it'll be a fun game, and so give it a chance. Don't be too hard on them, and just remember that, you know, they are not doing anything to screw. Somebody's saying, "Oh, yeah, whose pockets is the money lining?" Well, at the end of the day, it's going to the people who work at Night Models, because they're the people who make the miniatures, they're the people who design the games, they're the people who pack the miniatures in boxes, they're the people who answer the phones, they're the people who make the, I don't know, they're the people who you know, sell the stuff to the shops to sell to us. So that, you know, there's lots of people, different people working there, there's lots of cogs. Night Miniatures, they're not going to make millions out of this, I don't think, unless it's an awesomely brilliant game. Which I hope it is, and I hope they do make lots of money, and I hope they do continue to make Harry Potter stuff in the future. I mean, there's loads of stuff to draw on with all the new Fabulous Beasts films. This could run and run and run, and I hope it does, because the miniatures are lovely. So there you go. That's pretty much all I've got to say. I just realised I have forgotten one thing. There are some issues around postage, which I do hope they resolve. I think at the moment certain bits of it can only be posted to America, Spain and the US, and that is far from ideal and not a really good thing for anybody really, and particularly Night Models. There are people moaning about it. Again, I don't think Night Models would choose that if they didn't have to. There must be some reason why. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's just because postage costs. I think it's probably to do with IP and where they're allowed to send stuff. It seems a bit odd to me. I don't quite understand it, and I hope they resolve it for lots of Harry Potter fans around the globe, and not just in Spain, UK and America. But that's where we are at the moment. So, and you do at least know that, so you can make the decision based on that. So I hope you found that video useful. So try not to get too down on it, and we'll see what it's like. I mean, the videos look, the miniatures look great, and we've still got more to learn about the gameplay. So I'm still quite excited about it, well, with a little bit of caution. So anyway, until next time, I don't know when we'll bring you the next Harry Potter video, but I'm sure it won't be long. I've got some Shadespire content for you, got some more book content coming for you, and we've got some exciting news coming for you too, so listen out for that. So until next time, take care now, and if you have come across this looking for the Harry Potter game, do stick with us, do subscribe. We will bring more information and videos about Harry Potter as it comes along. Okay, until next time, bye!